So Golden State Warriors player Draymond Green said something earlier this week that I gotta applaud this man because he told the truth. He said he is tired of these female athletes complaining about the gender pay gap. And when it comes to the gender pay gap, this is the most quintessential example of intellectual dishonesty I've ever found. And when it comes to the gender pay gap, this is one of those narratives that has been just debunked just time and time again. It's one of the few commonly heard narratives that can also be debunked by common sense. Because especially when you apply this narrative to sports, you compare the NBA and the WNBA, and if you with a straight face can actually sit there and talk about how it's unfair how WNBA players make less than NBA players with a straight face, if you can actually do that without accounting for the variables that account for all of that, pretending like none of those variables exist, this is why I say it's the perfect example of intellectual dishonesty. Because you gotta be dishonest to really push a narrative like this one. You really do. For one, what determines a professional athlete's pay? Well, first of all, you sign a contract. Every professional athlete signs a contract. So whatever pay you receive is something that you contractually agreed to. You see the foolishness of this? You sign a contract and then you get mad. Imagine me, for whatever reason, if Nike wanted to have some sort of brand deal with me, God willing someday. But let's say that happened for whatever reason. And I signed the contract and we agreed to me being paid a certain amount for my work. And then months later, I start complaining and saying, oh man, it's probably because I'm black why they pay me what they pay me. I'm the one that signed the contract. I signed the contract. I agreed to that pay. You see? So diving into the details of this story, and I will play that clip of Draymond Green saying exactly what he said. But diving into this story to get more details, the Daily Wire reports NBA star Draymond Green stated, "I'm really tired of seeing female athletes complain about pay, doing themselves a real disservice." Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green said he is tired of listening to female athletes complain about unequal pay. The NBA star said on Wednesday that female athletes who claim that there is an unfair wage gap based on gender are not doing anything to correct it other than complain. That's spot on. That's spot on what he's saying. His comments come after U.S. soccer star Megan Rapinoe spoke about the alleged pay discrimination from the White House on March 24th. And I'm going to go ahead and play that clip of Draymond Green.
You know, and I was hoping people didn't take it the wrong way. Obviously, some people did, whatever. You know, if you can't read what I said and understand, that's your personal business. But, you know, I'm really tired of seeing them complain about the lack of pay because they're doing themselves a disservice by just complaining, you know, and
right. They're not just complaining.
Huh?
They're not just complaining, really.
But they are, because they're not laying out steps that they can take to change that. And so it's coming off as a complaint because the people that can change it, they're just going to continue to say, well, the revenue isn't there. The revenue isn't there. So if you don't bring in the revenue, we can't up your pay. They're going to keep using that. But the reality is, as true as that is, it's an excuse because everyone says we support women. We support women empowerment. We support women in the workplace. We do this for women, we do X for women, blah, blah, blah. And everyone uses it to their advantage. Yet these women are not using these people that are saying those very things to their advantage. So then it just becomes a complaint that falls on deaf ears.
Interesting perspective that he's taken on it as well, because he's pretty much saying, hey, when it comes to this, and I'm gonna throw in woke capitalism, when it comes to woke capitalism, they talk about empowering women. They talk about it all the time. Yet the same ones that talk about empowering women, uplifting women, these are the same ones that are the reason why your pay is what it is. They also contribute to your pay. The sponsors, the advertisers, all of that goes into how much a professional athlete earns. So I do agree with that point that he made, that hey, they talk this women empowerment. You need to actually make legitimate steps to correct this, other than just saying it's unfair, it's unfair. You have to bring your concerns to certain entities directly. You have to force their hand if this is something that you truly believe in and you're truly going to make steps to correct. You know, if you're going to take that perspective on it, you should do more than just talk about it. The article goes on to state, so this is what the soccer player went on to state. Rapinoe, she stated, I'm a member of the LGBTQ community with pink hair, and where I come from, I could have only dreamed of standing in the position I am today at the White House. I'm also a professional athlete, and I've helped, along with all of my teammates virtually here today, one teammate literally here today, win 4 World Cup championships and 4 Olympic gold medals for the United States, Rapinoe said. Awesome. Despite those wins, I've been devalued, I've been disrespected, and dismissed because I am a woman. No. Intellectual dishonesty. I've been told that I don't deserve any more than less because I am a woman. No. Who told you that? I'm gonna need the name first and last of the individual that told you this. Who told you that? Who told you that? These oppression narratives. You see, despite all the wins, I'm still paid less than men who do the same job that I do. But does what you do generate the same amount of revenue? See, that's some that they gonna act like don't matter. She continued, for each trophy, of which there are many, and for each win, for each tie, and for each time we play, it's less. I mean, a person that rides the bench their whole career can also make these same arguments. You know, these no-name bench players, they can also make the same arguments. Hey, how come I don't get paid as much as Michael Jordan did? How come I don't get paid as much? We both do the same job. We do the same job. See where intellectual dishonesty will lead you? See where it leads you? Article goes on to state, in March of 2019, the U.S. women's national team filed a lawsuit against U.S. Soccer for allegedly discriminating against female athletes in pay based on their gender. The judge in the case dismissed a major part of the lawsuit in May 2020, while pointing out that the women's team had negotiated its own collective bargaining agreement. Duh, like all professional athletes do. So whatever pay you agree to, that's the pay you agree to. That's your fault. And then to talk about the pay you agree to afterwards, that would be complaining. That would be complaining because you signed that contract. You agreed to that. But I am curious what you guys think when it comes to the gender pay gap. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe button, and blessings to you.